Let's talk about some drills real quick, and then I'll get you guys to a break because I know I've been talking for like an hour. Here are some drills that you can use to get faster with prep and to get better with prep. To make sure that you are prepping effectively and prepping quickly so that you're less stressed and you can do better work. The first drill I like to call the 4-2-1-4. Now that kind of sounds like a soccer formation for those of you who play soccer, but it's not, because then there would be 12 people in the field. The 4-2-1-4 is just saying you're going to have a different amount of prep for each time. This drill requires you to prep 4 different speeches. So in this drill, you're going to be prepping 4 different speeches on 4 different topics. So the first thing you want to do is set aside or choose 4 different topics that you have cards on. The next thing that you're going to want to do after you choose your 4 topics is you're going to start off by prepping with 4 minutes, then 2 minutes, then 1 minute, then 4 minutes again. So you're going to start off your first speech, you're going to have 4 minutes of prep to make sure you write down all the information, make sure you get all the information there. Then the next time you prep, you're going to have 2 minutes, then the next time you're going to have 1 minute, then the next time you're going to have 4 minutes. You don't have to give these speeches, you're just trying to prep it, you're practicing prep, not giving the speech itself. So you do 4-2-1-4, 4-2-1-4. You do that over and over and over again. Now what you will realize, what you should notice, is that the 4-minute prep session at the end seems a lot longer. It seems like you have a lot more time after you do the 2 and the 1, and then you get to 4. You can also make sure that this is shorter. For instance, at Night Talk, right before Night Talk, I did a couple of these just to get my head around it. And I did 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 1 minute. Which is crazy, intense, fast, and it's so much fun, and it's a thrill. Like, people think like hang gliding is a thrill, like this is a thrill. So even cut down your time if you're a little more experienced, but then you get to Night Talk, then you get to the tournament, you have 4 minutes to prep, and you're just like, what do I do? Like, my speech is prepped a minute in, what do I do? So then you just make some small notes, you look busy so the judge isn't like, well, he's wasting his prep time. But it will make it so much easier to prep if you challenge yourself to prep in less time. Also, if you balance this, it will make sure that you're not rushing. The reason why it's 4-2-1-4 instead of just 4-2-1 is A, so you can see the results at the end and kind of be encouraged to keep going. I need that a little bit when I practice. I'm very results oriented, and if I don't see results from my practice, I get discouraged and stop practicing. Having the 4 at the end helps me to see the results of my labor, but also it helps you to not rush. It helps you to say at the end, okay, look, I have plenty of time. I can work through this. I can just write out what I want to and make it make sense. It will still take a lot less time, but you also won't rush. This is one of my favorite drills. This was the drill that I did most before Concordia. And prep at Concordia was like the easiest my prep has ever been in my 4 years of doing MHI. Second thing, I talked about this in platforms. I talked about this in extent. I talked about this in debate. Distract yourself while you are prepping. Prepare Marcel speeches while watching TV, listening to music, or even playing games. I played Mario Kart and prepped the Marcel speech once. So distract yourself to make sure that you are creating the worst possible environment for you to prep a speech. Think about your nightmare. Think about walking into a Mars Hill prep room, having a buzzsaw going on behind you, the fan on high, somebody sneezing, a child crying, somebody throwing up in the corner, the North Korean army invading. Think about all of your nightmarish things and create a situation that is worse than that to prep your speeches in. I'll talk about why that matters in a second. Yeah.
Did you win the race in Mario Kart while you were prepping?
I did. I did, yes. It was on Rainbow Road too. Yes. Didn't fall off the whole time. It was great. Okay. The reason why you do this, the reason why you distract yourself, that's not the reason. Why did I do that? Okay, we'll fill in the second blank and then we'll get to the reason. Don't be obsessive, but challenge yourself in difficult situations. I'm not saying that you should be one of those people that's prepping Marcel speeches at family dinner. Don't prep Marcel speeches when you're hanging out with your grandma. Don't prep Marcel speeches when you're doing school. Don't do that. Don't be obsessive with it, but challenge yourself to do it in difficult situations. If you're just sitting around watching sports, like I know my family, Throughout the whole fall, our Saturdays are booked watching college football, like from 6 in the morning, literally 6 in the morning, until like 10 in the evening. We are watching college football like the whole day. So if you're in a situation like that, you're in a challenging situation, Alabama's beating whatever FCS school they're playing that week, then just challenge yourself. Be like, okay, I'm going to prep this while trying to watch the game and give commentary on it. I'm gonna try to prep this speech while I'm in the midst of like the most intense, high-pressure game of like the whole year. Challenge yourself in difficult situations. Speed up your mental process with resistance. The reason why you do this is because it creates resistance in your mind that you have to fight through. Who lifts weights? I don't, so I don't do that. Kind of the concept of lifting weights is that you're lifting something that's heavier than air. So you're doing an action, let's say you're just doing a curl, right? This is really simple. I could do this like 7,000 times, pump the iron, yeah? The reason why you have a weight there is to create resistance. You're pushing up against gravitational force because you have mass in your hand, and you are pushing it up. There's resistance there, and that resistance is growing, hypothetically speaking, is growing your muscles. It's the same kind of thing here. Create resistance, create mental resistance, create intellectual resistance while you're prepping your speeches. What that means is that your mind will get stronger and faster because it will be used to be pushing through that resistance. It will be used to fighting through all of the other things going on in a room, so when there's nothing going on, it's easy. You're stronger than you were before. This is one of the best things that I've done for any speech and debate events, is just distract myself while doing it. Then you're not fazed when stuff goes wrong in competition, because we all know it does sometimes. And you're also a lot quicker and a lot faster in how you prep. Okay, thirdly, the quick draw. The quick draw is not fun at all. I don't enjoy it. But it's really helpful for me, so I challenge myself to do it. In this drill, you'll flip your binder open to a random topic. So you'll just take your binder, whether it's organized by genre or organized alphabetically, however you organize it, you'll just take it, flip it open to a random topic. Now, the thing you'll do with that topic is, without any prep, you will look at your card and just list off your point outline. So you'll look at your card for the Lego movie and say, my synopsis is Emmett was a Lego figurine, challenges his president's business, and jumps himself into an abyss. The three parts of the worldview are where we face overwhelming obstacles. Life can seem awesome at first, but the only way to overcome the obstacles is through sacrifice. And we see third thing, the bridge is egoistic selflessness, Aristotle, and then we see in the fourth, Jesus. Yeah. Basically what you do is you just list off your outline. You automatically create your outline. For me, early in my Marcel career, one of the things that was hardest for me, one of the things that took the most time, was creating my outline. If I already had a direction where I was going to go, it was just a matter of writing down what was already in my head and moving forward. It was really quick. Same kind of concept with like prepping lectures. I realized the same thing. If I know what I'm going to talk about, it takes me like 45 minutes to prep a lecture. If I don't know, it takes me like twice as long, because I have to think through, okay, I need this point, I need this point, I need this point. But if it's just automatic, if it's already in your head, it's just your fingers are flying on the keyboard and you feel awesome. Same kind of thing when you're prepping a Mars Hill speech. If you already have your outline in your head automatically, you will be able to prep a lot faster and a lot more effectively. This quick draw drill helps you to do that. Do this many times to decrease the time it takes for you to interpret and use the card. Basically all you do is you flip it open, you'll look, and you give your outline. You do not give the whole speech, you just give your outline. You format your points. You say, I'm going to do this here, this here, this here, and this here. It's basically just structure, very formulaic, but all you're trying to do is speed up how you interpret and how you prep a certain thingamajig. Okay, number 4 is the binder speech. Now, I will say all of this is in addition to just standing up and giving normal Marshall speeches. Just prepping in 4 minutes, standing up and giving a 6-minute speech. Do that too, but I'm sure a lot of you guys could have come to that conclusion yourself, so I didn't have a point there. This drill will teach you to survive without prep time. This drill will teach you to give a 6-minute speech without prep time. Now, does that sound fun to anyone? A couple of you guys, absolutely. It sounds fun to me too. But most people are like, oh, that sounds awful. This drill will teach you to survive with absolutely no prep time, so you look at your prep time as a luxury, not a necessity. You do not use your prep time as a crutch, you use your prep time as a supplement. Choose a topic and just stand up and give a speech from your binder with no prep time. Just have your topic there, have your card, let's say on the Lego movie there, and stand up and give your speech just like you would. You still have your information in front of you. As you get more rehearsed with your cards, you can even do the binder speech without your binder and just stand up and give your speech without, any of the information, just recollecting it all. But the point of this is to make sure that you are using your prep time well, but that you already have things prepped in your head before you even get into prep time. A lot of people think that prep time is where you prep a speech. You should already have a speech prepped before you get into prep time in your head. Prep time, the 4 minutes there, should just be transforming that from your mind onto your index card. So make sure that you do something like this to help you focus more on having prep time as a supplement. This will ensure that your cards are efficient as well. If you have to give a speech with your card and you realize that your card is way too big, you'll realize it while you're doing this drill. You'll realize it while you're standing up there speaking and trying to process the information in front of you that, oh, this doesn't make enough sense, I have to rewrite this card. This will also be a check and a balance to make sure that your cards make sense, that you can use your cards quickly and efficiently. Last one, the binderless speech. The binderless speech isn't actually giving a speech, so I don't know why it's called the binderless speech, but it is, so just go with it. This is a challenge. Prep your speech without having your binder. So take your binder, give it to your little brother, and let him run around the house screaming with it. Prep the speech without using your binder whatsoever. So set it aside, just sit down with your note card and say, okay, I got Inside Out. I'm going to go ahead and prep my speech like I would, and then you might even be able to stand up and give that speech. Try to include as much information from your card as you can, but don't use the card at all. So what I am saying when I say don't use your binder is not just have a very simple formulaic outline that doesn't really have any analysis, doesn't really have any quotes, doesn't have your three-part worldview, doesn't have a theme. Make sure that it has as much information as you can put into it. Just make sure you're not using your binder in order to do so. What this will mean is, well, A, if you get in a situation where you either lose your binder at a tournament, or you give your binder to a friend and your friend is still in his round using your binder and you have to go into your round without your binder because you have extent prep in 15 minutes, then you'll be able to survive with that as well. Not that that's ever happened to me, but, you know, good times. Make sure that you are doing this. This allows your cards to supplement, to be a supplement, not to be a crutch. A lot of this is what I am saying to you, Okay. What I am trying to communicate right now is that with a lot of these things that you use to prepare, it shouldn't be a crutch. It shouldn't be something you rely on. It shouldn't be something you need. It should be something that supplements your ability to accomplish your goal, to prep your speech, but you should be able to prep without it. You should be able to prep without your cards. You should be able to prep without your binder. You should be able to prep without prep time. If you do that, you're going to be a lot more effective in prep time.